as we're filming this, it's pretty crazy. INHD just hit the 8s. I had the idea to buy it if it cracked 6. It never got below 6. I'm showing my screen. You can't even see it. I forgot. It got down to like 6.12. But more important than any one stock, I am here in Boston to announce a new Millionaire Student, Strati! Yes, Strati! And Jack.
What's up, guys?
How cool is this? We got the signs. Congratulations, Strati. $1 million. Everyone in chat, congratulate him. You know it's been a long time coming. You know that literally he's been on the verge of hitting $1 million since, you know, what? Like, how long has it been? I feel like it's like
2 months,
like
3 months.
The Celtics won the championship and then your leader went down.
I think July. July got tough. Whenever I went and started traveling with you.
Hey-oh! Not everybody can travel and trade, but he's back in Boston. And side note, he also made excuses for 2 weeks when he was back in Boston. So it wasn't just traveling and trading. It was in his head. It was in his head, but you guys know he's been doing fantastic. You know, former gym teacher, now millionaire. Pretty awesome. How does it feel?
Good. I'm pretty relieved, guys. That was very stressful. I'm happy to breathe, I think.
I mean, you understand, like, all of you, the $1 million milestone is good, but, you know, in today's world, it frankly doesn't even go that far, especially after taxes. It's just a good, you know, milestone to hit, and now the goal is what? What's your new goal?
I don't know, just trade well, I think. I don't have a number in mind. Like, I feel like after the million, everyone kind of goes their own ways and does their own things. I just want to get back to trading well. You know, wait for the best stuff, all the basic stuff. I just want to be a student again.
Do you want to be like this $20 million man sitting next to you?
Yeah, but you have to learn so much more now. It's like a whole new journey starting, so it'll be fun.
Do you realize Jack has made 20 times as much as you?
That's crazy to think about.
And he's younger than you.
Yeah.
But he's also made nearly triple what I've made, and he's like, I literally was trading when he was in diapers. So, you know, we're all on our own journey. Any questions for Strati? Throw them out. Look at that. The whole chat room loves you.
We've
Pretty
had a lot
cool.
of talks, me in this room. How many Friday webinars have I come on and just complained and complained? And they listened to everything, and they were there. So they've seen the whole thing. This is as real as it gets, you know. There's a lot of bad days, for sure.
Can you talk about the trade that pushed you over $1 million?
Yeah, so
Or the trades?
it was one trade for about $10,000. I went back to the basics. I went to the trade that I did 5 years ago when I first became profitable. It was an OTC, so going sideways, the most basic pattern that Jack taught me when we first met. It was Fannie Mae that I complained to all of you about and almost cried on a webinar in May because I missed the gap up and Jack and all my friends nailed it. And Fannie Mae was sitting there yesterday with like 10 cents of risk and I slammed the thing and it never came back. It went straight to 12 something.
So what was your entry?
1150, risking 1140, and I sold 1220. So I made like 7 to 1. It was.
You didn't do 30,000 shares?
No, 15,000. Because I wasn't trying to
But
trade.
your one R would have been 30K, 3K risk, right? You should have been risk. You should have had double the size.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Let's just be happy that he's over $1 million because
Got him.
it's been tough. It's been tough for a while.
Thank God he did it.
Yeah, it just so happened. Like literally, I was planning on coming back, but you know, I screwed up my ankle in Norway, so I actually changed my plans a little bit. Not ideal for me, but it was pretty cool. You know, sometimes things just happen for a reason. So maybe I came here to Boston to witness this in person. We tried a few times
Tried all over the world.
in Positano, in Barcelona.
I'm really sorry about that.
Don't
Vegas.
apologize. It's fine. Were we in Vegas?
For the inner circle.
Did we go to Vegas? Was that during? Yeah,
Vegas,
that
yeah.
was during his stretch. It took you years to get to 500K and a matter of months to get to 1 million. What changed? Good question, Stephen B.
I feel like, well, Stephen B has seen the whole thing because he's in inner circle. So I don't know if it was inner circle. I want to give them some credit, but I feel like I had a lot more pressure to just do the right things. Like I had a lot of bad habits the first few years. So like I would lose 30K, 20K, make 60, 70. And this time around, this year, I really haven't had any big drawdowns besides March. So just cleaning up my act, I think, and just doing what I was supposed to be doing. So
pretty amazing. Like, even though you've been struggling to get over $1 million, your drawdown has been like nil.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, it was frustrating. You make like 5, lose 5, make 7, lose 2. So you're gradually inching. Like, with the past 3 months, you're still up like 50, 60K.
yeah, like that's why it was weird. It was like a new experience because it was like, why I'm not panicking because I'm losing. I'm panicking because I can't get like consistency. So we had to think about what makes us consistent, and I wasn't doing any of those things. I was over trading a lot. I was forcing trades. I was trying to buy everything because I felt like every little $1,000 mattered. When in reality, I just had to wait for a couple setups a morning and log off by 11 o'clock, which is what I did the first 6 months of the year to make that original 400 or 500 grand. So
sometimes you have to go back to the basics, and it can also be the same tickers. Like, Jack has made a lot off Fannie Mae, right?
It's my biggest ticker ever.
Right?
Yeah, maybe like 2.5 million. It's only 10%, 15% of my total amount,
But that was your biggest, like, most well-known kind of play, where it's the same pattern. A decade ago, Tim Grattani wrote a blog post on my website. You can still Google it, How I Made $200,000 in a Day. Just type in How I Made $200,000 in a Day on TimothySykes.com. Tim Grattani made $200,000 a day trading Fannie Mae. That was a decade ago.
Fannie Mae has made so many traders money. Like, it truly, like, it's a blessing. Like, look at trader Andy.
Yeah.
One of 10's millionaires. He's been on a few webinars.
Yeah.
The guy's up 2 million, and maybe $1 million, $1.5 million is all from just Fannie Mae. Like,
if you find a ticker, if you find a pattern that works for you, you rinse and repeat. Tonight literally is the first game of the NFL new season. I guarantee you, if a team finds a play where, let's say one defensive back is weak, they'll run the same play over and over and exploit that weakness. That's the same thing here. If you find something that works, it's rinse and repeat. So that's what this is all about, the process. And somebody asked, like, what changed with Strati? Like, it took so long to get him to 500,000 and then easier. It gets easier the more money that you make because you have the process down pat, and then it's the same process just with more size. So many of you, I know it's crazy to think about in terms of money because you're talking about like life-changing money, but if you can learn how to make $10,000, you take 10 times the size to make $100,000. You take 10 times the size to make $1 million. Obviously, it's not a perfect science, but that's the gist. And now Strati, over $1 million, but now he's just taking it, one process at a time, one trade at a time. He's not trying to hit the next goal. But when he settles down and, focuses on trading with some size again, guess what? 1.5 million, 2 million, it's going to come even faster. We've had several of the Millionaire students say, like, who was it? I think it was like Kyle Williams. Even Kyle was like getting a little cocky where he's like, 3 years to do this, 2 years to do this, 3 weeks to do this. And I was like, yo, calm down. Not all markets are always that hot. But it does get easier over time. Like, do you feel, both of you, do you guys feel more confident now in 2025 than you did in 2024 versus 2023 versus 2022? Picture yourself 2022 versus now. Can you think back that far? Jack didn't even have a full beard. He had like a little putting green on the bottom of his chin.
what do you think?
What were you at in 2022, 3 years ago? Like 3 million, 5 million?
No, I cracked 10 million.
Okay, so 10. So you doubled it. But that's still pretty amazing, right? What were you at 2020? The beginning of 2020? Right before COVID happened, what were you at?
Right before COVID happened, I was at maybe like 220, 210, 220, okay?
$210,000.
Yeah.
So literally from 2020 to 2025, he went from 200,000, but he already had the process of making the 200,000, richest valet in history, and he can't valet for shit now, so thank God that he can trade. Yeah. But 200,000 to 20 million in 5 years. Strati, what were you at in 2020?
In 2020, I was at $20,000 in profits. Now we did a video together in Christmas time,
We did do a video.
That was
I'll
the
be
end of
posting.
2020 though.
Yeah.
December 2020.
But I'll be posting some throwback stuff. This is all in the past few years. And this is statistically, theoretically impossible to do this. Everyone thinks you can't beat the market. There's no edge. It's all random. You should just invest in the S&P 500 and make 8 to 10% per year. If you guys had invested your meager savings in 2020 to make 10% per year, how much would you have right now? After 5 years, so just...
If I invested if I invested my 25K in 20, instead of joining the challenge,
You'd be up like 60, 70% after compounding.
The market did good.
Maybe even 100%. Call it 100%. Why not? Whatever. You know, what did you start with in 2020? What were you at?
I'm talking about when I first started.
Okay. What was that? 2017?
Yeah, 2016, 2017.
So 8 years. Let's
Yeah.
call it 200%. Who cares? It's pitiful, right?
I would have turned like 25K into like 60 or 70K probably.
25K into 60K or 25K into 20 million. And what were you at when you first started?
Like 15K. So yeah, 40 grand, 50 grand.
15K, you'd be at 40, 50 grand. So this is the thing, guys. Like, I know it sounds crazy. I know these numbers is not for everybody, but this is the upside potential and why this is so amazing compared to like the normal market. You can use your small account to your advantage.
Yes.
Like, what do you guys say to people who say like, oh, there's no edge, like, you know, the strategy only works with small money? What do you guys say to that?
So what? That's great. Use small money and skill. You'll make more money trading small size on stocks that go 50, 100, 500% in a day versus like decent size and you're getting 1%. Like these.
INHG's into the eights. Ah!
Put small money into that at $5 and see where your account goes. It's great. These things happen every day. It never stops. That's why Tim was on my. Sorry to swear, but for so many weeks he's like, "What are you doing?" There's 100%, 200%, 500% runners every single morning this year. It's nuts.
And former runners can run again. That's why I'm pissed about INHD. I just wanted to crack 6 so I could buy the dip. Chili says, I've noticed students who hit the $1 million mark after years of trading seem to double their profits more quickly. Why do you think that is? Again,
Of course.
it's the process, right?
Of course. Think about it.
It's a double whammy. You get more money in your account and you've already learned a lot. So it's like it's 2 for 1. So when you start, you don't have a lot of money and you don't know what you're doing. So your growth is going to be incredibly slow, but then you slowly start to build up. Every time you lose, you learn something new. So then you don't have to lose like that again. And eventually you're not losing as much. And then you look at your account and it's 3 times as much, 4 times as much. And now you're confident. And then once you get the ball rolling, it's an avalanche. It just doesn't stop.
Beta says, can you talk about the major learning experience curves and what you had to do to shift to get to each new level from that point? Good question.
I'd say I'm going to be honest, like you have to lose. Like I learned from all my losses. Like I remember my first 5-figure red day. I remember my first 4-figure red day. I remember being bag holder on a bunch of stocks, like which what Tim taught. So once you feel that and you go through it, then you can advance, which sucks to tell you guys, like, I'm not saying go lose, but every time you do lose on something, you get to put that in a journal, you get to do something with it, and then you don't have to do it again. And then you save yourself money the next week, and then you get to graduate to new issues. Like, as you get bigger, you learn new problems, like scaling up, new strategies, doing what you gotta do. So it's like a constant graduation. Like, for example, we have Terry, who's our first 100K inner circle.
Is he a yellow belt yet?
He's a blue.
Terry!
Can he get to the next level?
I don't know yet. I'm not ready for him to be there yet. When he can run a class himself, I think.
Well, if Jack, can you answer that question? Because you've leveled up multiple times throughout your career. How did you like shift like to get to each new level? Did you have to change? Obviously, it's not just position size. It's like mindset. There's a lot of things. Like, did you notice there were specific shifts that you had to do to get to 500,000 to $1 million to 5 million to 10 million, and now you're making $1 million on some trades individually?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. So think about it like you start off with T-ball, then you're doing little league ball, then you're doing middle school ball, high school ball, then you're doing the D-league, and then maybe you might make it into the major leagues. And every time you upgrade to that next league, I mean, when you first start, you're literally hitting the ball off of a tee. Like you almost can't miss. And then by the time you get to the major leagues, you're trying to hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. And without going through each step along the way, starting with no pitch, all the way up to a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, you're going to learn new stuff along the way. And your journey is going to really take a lot of different leaps and bounds throughout the different leagues. And you need to keep adapting, and you have to keep showing up and pushing yourself every single day, because if you don't, you're going to get stuck in that league, or you're going to have to demote, or you're going to have to quit because you can't handle it. And you just got to keep going, keep learning. And yeah, obviously the higher you can get, higher level you can get, the better league you can get up to, the more potential reward there is, but there's also more potential risk. So keep that in mind, and keep pushing and seeing what you can do, because there's only one life. There's only one chance at this. As of right now, we don't have another chance. We're all gonna die someday, and that's a fact. So do everything you can now to put yourself in your best position, put your family in your best position.
What have you learned on your latest, sizing up in your latest paradigm shift?
Oh, now we're using paradigm now.
Yeah, you love that word.
I learned the word paradigm yesterday.
I know, we're using your new language skills.
So lately, the newest shift?
Yeah.
The newest shift I learned is I've really been a trader of kind of, getting in here, getting out there, and just recycling my money over and over and over again, because that's how you're going to grow a small amount. If you got 100K or 10K or 1,000, whatever it is, you need to keep recycling that money, taking 5, 10, 15, 20% over again. But when you start getting to a bigger account, it's going to be hard to size your money in the right spots. You're going to start breaking the patterns with your liquidity. Now I don't want to shift my money in and out all the time. I just want to let my money sit and just compound over time, and put my money in good stocks that I can hold for at least a few days, if not a few weeks or a few months, or hopefully a few years, and just let the money compound over time, because you only need to get rich one time. You don't need to get rich a million times. I mean, I did it twice. I started over with my Roth IRA, and I did it again. But now, I might, try to do it again in October, start with a small amount, or November. But for right now, I'm just enjoying summer. I'm letting the money compound. So it's just about making less moves and just letting that money compound, because the more times you're in and out, the more potential risk you're going to have. You're going to fall into a mistake. You're going to get, caught in something, whatever it's going to be. You need to, size into something good and just let it work. And this is not what I'd recommend somebody with less than, several $1 million. If you got a couple million, you got to just keep, in and out, keep growing it. But then once you get towards, I think, 7, 8, 10 million, 20 million, I mean, if you're making 20, 30, 40, 50, 100% per year, it's amazing, and you're taking your own risk down.
Question, Paul says, Strati taught us by example. Watching him struggle to hit the $1 million mark proved we must control the mindset. Can you talk about what you learned from teaching others? Because I know it's helped you a lot lately.
I feel like no matter how much you study and you say you have rules and you can tell other people how to trade, no matter what you've learned, when the market opens at 9:30, you can still screw it up. So they were like, I don't understand. We're nailing the trades that you taught us how to do.
And you weren't.
And you're not. So no matter how prepared you are, once that bell hits, it's very hard. So I struggled with that a lot. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Look, I'm a better trader because of you guys. I still have degenerate trading problems. Some people say why don't I size up? Strati was like, oh, it would just be great if you just sized up. I haven't earned the right, frankly. It's tough for me traveling, trading. I do it to myself, but even when I'm in one place, I trade worse. So I can teach. I know the rules. I know the patterns. I'm still profitable, but not in a huge way. And I think the longer you're in this game, the more different variations you see, you just don't want to take huge risks anymore. I mean, most of the biggest traders I know, they want to de-risk, whether managing a fund, taking other people's money, trading less size compared to their wealth, because you realize what money can do. And as a teacher, I want to teach you guys to be so conservative. The more newbies I teach, the more I realize that you really have to learn to trade small, hone that skill, and then size up later. Everybody always wants the big win, but it's a trap, especially as you're a beginner. Jack has earned the right to trade big because he keeps sizing up and he passes the test. I think that when you hit a milestone, whether it's your first million, whether it's your first $1,000, whether it's your first $10,000, you have to really judge yourself at each level. As Jack was giving the example, like T-ball and then, faster balls and then, fast balls. You have to see how you're doing at very specific, times in your journey, and you have to be real about it. Like, I'm not happy with my trading this year, but at the same time, do I have time to just ignore all the students and work on myself? No, you guys are the priority. So I have my own issues. I've talked about that in video lessons. I'll talk about it in webinars galore. You have to be honest with yourself about your own issues. And this grueling grind for Strati to get to $1 million, I think it really exposed a lot of insecurities and flaws in your process. And now that you're over the hump, you're wiser. But, like when I ask, like, what's next? And he's like, I just want to take it easy, right? Like, it's been a grind, and that's the part that he's at right now. But after a few days, after a few weeks, maybe he'll make 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Maybe he'll get a 10,000. He'll build a little buffer over $1 million. He'll start getting in the groove. And then it's like, maybe a month from now, he'll be like, okay, now's the time to size up. You are always in control of how aggressive you want to be, how conservative you want to be. But I will say, don't just get aggressive for the sake of being aggressive because the market's hot. The market might be hot, but it might not be your pattern. The market might be hot, but maybe you have a cough and a fever and you feel like crap and you're not sleeping well. You really got to be introspective about what the market is doing and how you're doing in that market. And if you're crushing it, if you win 7 times out of 8 and you're taking profits too quickly, by all means, take profits a little less quickly. Size up a little more. You can always dip your toe in. Like, some people are like, how do I know when to size up? How do I know when to size down? Always be testing. Every single one of you, leave that comment right now. Say, I will always be testing. Sizing up, sizing down, moving your goals all around, more aggressive on AI stocks when they're hot, less aggressive when crypto, like for example right now, is not breaking out. And we know that from the past crypto run-ups, there's usually a big crash on year 4. This is how trading is. It's not just always sizing up, being in the perfect spot, maximizing. Sometimes the best offense is a defense. I'm sorry to use a cliche line, but do you agree with that, Strati? Now you're over $1 million, and now you're like, I don't want any risk. I don't want to lose this perch.
Yeah, like I have to adjust based on my life. So like now that I'm over it, the market could be crazy, but I still need to be careful. And then there's going to be that one time in the year where the market's crazy and I'm ready to push. So like Tim preaches, like you have to be aligned with what's going on. So 2 weeks ago, every day there was a big like 1-day runner. Like Tim loves those breaking news plays, those 5.
INHD! INHD, baby!
The ones that had like no volume the day before, then they get a PR and go like 500%. And I've never been good at those, right? So that was the market condition at a time when I felt really pressured and I was struggling and I tried to force it, and that's why I did bad. But I could have been a professional and been like, this isn't my market and I'm not even in a good place, so let's just wait. And then 2 weeks later, it was more of my market and I was in a good place. So you gotta align with the market as best as you can. And if you're not aligned, stop trading and figure it out. Do a journal entry or something.
What do you think, Jack?
Your best offense is a good defense.
I already said that like 3 minutes ago.
What was the question?
Jack can't even listen. Okay?
No. I was listening to what Strati said. I'm listening to what you guys are saying.
Sizing up, sizing down. How do you know when to get aggressive? How do you know when to push it versus when to pull back?
It's so simple. If you're making money, size up. If you're losing money, size down. That's all I've done for nearly a decade. And that's how I've made so much money, because sometimes when I'm hot, I just get hotter and hotter and hotter. I mean, look at Klay Thompson back in, 2017. He scored like almost 40 points in one quarter. Like, why is he taking that many shots? Because he keeps making it. So give him the ball, let him keep shooting. And guess what? Some quarters he's cold and nobody wants to give him the ball, because why would they give someone the ball that is shooting that poorly. So that's my methodology of sizing up. And I don't really give a shit about the market conditions that much, because I mean, I've seen Strati make money in shit market conditions, in my opinion, and it just depends. Like, you know, your mental is always the most important thing. So just size up when you're doing good. That's it. But don't get too cocky, because you can lose it all.
Let me just quantify that too. It's also not just about how much you're making or how much you're losing. It's also about the way in which you're doing it. Like, sometimes we're in a trade and, you know, it just uphalts, and like you're into the uphalt and you make like 20-30%, but like you got a little lucky because of the halts. Or sometimes you're in a play and there's an offering and it drops really quickly. I mean, any of these plays can do an offering, especially these biotechs, but you got a little unlucky. So you have to factor that in.
No, I disagree with this.
So I'm thinking in terms of like the movie Moneyball, which is based on a great book, which is based on a real world example, with the Oakland Athletics, where it's not just your batting average, your on base percentage, your run average. Like it's also about, I mean, for Major League Baseball players, how much you're paying for them. So it's like the value. But in terms of trading, I think that you can judge if you got a little lucky or unlucky on a trade, and it's not just solely how much money you made or lost on that. Let's hear Jack's counter.
So my whole thought process on this is, even if you get lucky, so if you get caught in an uphaul, or if you get unlucky and you get caught in a downhaul, no matter what, that's going to control your emotional mindset for the next trade. So if you get caught in that downhole, you're going to trade, even if you were trading really good, like you're going to start to trade like pretty poorly, because you're going to be scared that the offer is going to come out. You're going to be, you know, you're not going to be essentially holding like correctly or trading right because of the thing that happened. So you need to size down even if you get unlucky, because your mindset's all up. And if you get lucky and something rips, you make a bunch of money, you're going to be thinking way more clearly, and you're going to make a better decision because you have a bunch of money to trade with, right? And you have a bunch of profit, and you're starting to make that ball roll. So just because you got lucky doesn't mean you should just size down. You should keep going and see how much you can press, because hopefully you don't get lucky next time, but you make a great trade and you just keep rolling that and rolling that and rolling that, and then take a huge loss. Unlucky, you're not unlucky. Then you have to reset, and you have to determine whether you got lucky or whether you didn't get lucky. You just got to know though where you're at. If you got lucky, you got to make sure you have a good pattern, a good system, a good strategy. Because if you just are a newbie, this is not for newbie traders, right? This is for profitable traders that know what they're doing to use this kind of method. If you're a newbie trader, just do everything and track everything and learn.
I see what you're saying, you know, and it's okay that we like disagree. I mean, this is why Jack is sized up so much more than me. Like it's how comfortable you are. There's no one size fits all. Some of you guys ask like, hey, you and Jack say something different, or you know, Ellis and Jack say something different, or you know, guess what?
Ellis and me say a lot of things that are different.
But that's fine. Like there's no one size fits all for everybody. I encourage you to take a little something from everybody and learn and see what suits you best. I don't even short sell anymore. I think it's extremely risky for newbies, and yet, as many short sellers point out, many of my millionaire students, you know, are short sellers. I've made millions shorting. I've just adapted based on being a teacher and what I see for you guys. If I wasn't a teacher, if I was just, you know, a trader, I would short sell sometimes, but I don't want to even throw that out there. I think it's just a good line in the sand for me to draw, no short selling, so that you don't risk it. But that's up to you guys. Well, if you guys miss anything, again, it's going to be all recorded. You should rewatch this a few times. I have a question for Strati. You know, when you joined, you know, getting into like trying to make $1 million, did you actually think that you could do it quickly? Or did you think it was a far off dream? Or you're like, maybe it'll happen, maybe it didn't? What were you in the beginning versus obviously now you know it's possible?
I think it was always possible. I felt I could do it, and I'd get a lot of my conviction off other people. So like I met Jack at 100K. So I met Kyle Williams when he was under a million. I watched Tim Grattani's DVD. I made the $1 million on Fannie Mae Breakout, and I watched Tim Grattani's video from 2016. It's on YouTube. It's my favorite live trading video ever. It was a Fannie Mae breakout. And then I would see it happen when I met Jack and Kyle 5 years later. So I was always a believer that this is going to happen because these patterns are very repetitive and there's too many success stories that weigh it out. So yeah, I always thought this was going to happen.
Strati is a big, like, this is a scam, like, this is, you know what I mean? So for Strati to believe, it really shows the I don't know. What the
You
right
have to
word is.
prove it to me. Like I would, if I met Tim for the first time, I'd be like, I don't believe this, 100%. But if he says, okay, meet this guy Jack, or meet this guy Kyle, or all these people, look at all these stories, then it's like, okay, but do I believe them? And then you see it's all verified. And I personally got to watch Jack go from 100K to 20 million. I've seen every dollar of it. So I wasn't at $1 million till now, but he was at a couple million or 500K, and I watched him go from 5 to $1 million. And then I'm like, well, maybe Jack's just a special case. But then you have Matt Monaco, you have Bryce. There are so many people that, even Andy. I love Andy to death, our Asian friend that Jack was talking about. He only trades one stock, and he's a genius at the stock. And I'm like, no offense to that guy. I call him every day. If Andy can do this, come on, so...
And this is the thing, guys. Like, this is why I got started teaching. When I first made my millions, years ago, decades ago, when Jack, you couldn't grow a beard, he didn't even have any hair on his little baby head, right? But at the same time, people were saying to me, this was literally when I made my first million in 2002. How old were you in 2002?
Me?
I was 5.
I was 4.
Did you have any hair?
Probably, yeah.
Not much.
I had curly
much.
hair. I had a bunch of hair when I was a kid.
But when I made my first million, everyone was like, oh, are you lucky? Are you a genius? Are you a fraud? And I'm like, none of the above. Like, it's real. I think that I'm lucky in the sense that I know what the strategy is. I'm not a fraud. It is real. But like, I didn't have anything to compare it to, right? I was the only one I knew who had made that much. There were a lot of websites out there, but like they only posted their entry. They didn't post their exit. Shout out to the Lion. It was very, very shady and very, very confusing. And only when I, started teaching did I realize like most people in this industry are full of crap.
Who was the first trader you met after making $1 million that you're like, wow, he did it too? And I'm confident he did it too. I'm not talking about hedge funds, or I'm talking about someone who started with a small amount of money. They traded OTCs, they traded small caps, they traded penny stocks, they traded what we trade, and they had made $1 million. Who was the first person?
So that would be Moez Kassam. We were in Trader Monthly's top 30 under 30. He was a penny stock short seller like me.
The guy that went on the...
He started a hedge fund, Anson Funds.
Wow.
Oh, him?
Yeah. He had made a few million at the time, and I had made a few million on, for Trader Monthly's 30 under 30. We were both at the awards thing, and we hit it off. I'm now an investor in his hedge fund, and he's done very well. He's now managing billions of dollars, which is crazy. He's gone on to much bigger things than just penny stocks. But he was the first. And then I also met Greg, LX21. He was another penny stock short seller. And then I also met Bao. He was a penny stock long at the time. And when I was a short seller, Bao used to post on Investors Hub, and he would post his watch list of stocks that he was buying. And I was a short seller, and I was like, thank you, Bao. I'm just going to short all these stocks. So, and now Bao goes short and I go long, so we've like flipped. But, this was 20 years ago, and there were people doing it, but there weren't that many people, and you didn't have example after example. We didn't have videos, obviously. Like, you couldn't share it, you couldn't really see it. And even you, Jack, I'll point out, like after the first few months, you were down like $10,000. You took 3 months off.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
What made you take those 3 months off after you've lost thousands of dollars? What made you keep going at that point? Because you paid for the challenge. You're down like $10,000. You're studying, you're trading, and it's just not clicking. What made you take those 3 months off? What did you learn during those 3 months?
Yeah, so I took a few months off, and I stayed confident in myself and in the strategy and in Tim and the team, because it was me who was just making stupid mistakes. Like, I was just doing like stupid things that I knew I would be able to fix them, right? So it wasn't a means that like I didn't see the opportunity, or I didn't, believe this could be done, or any of this stuff. Like, I saw it right in front of me, but I just like couldn't reach it. Like, I couldn't reach it because I had things holding me back, whether it was, money, or it was all these little things. So I just saw it and I believed it. And I knew I could reach it.
I'll say one other thing, because I've asked you this question in the past. And what you said also was that you saw other people in the challenge doing it.
Yeah.
You saw at the time it was like Britannian ducks. Like, this is the thing. When you guys see other people doing it, like, this guy's real. This is real.
This is your
Okay?
this is your guys' best example on
the
how to
most
go
recent
from where
example.
you are to completing the Millionaire Challenge, right? You guys saw the growth. Like, it, for anyone that's been in the challenge, even for like the last like few months, like you're still seeing it. If you've been in the challenge for the last like year, you've really seen it, you know?
And this is why I love every new Millionaire Student, because A, I'm proud of them. I'm so proud of Strati. I'm proud of Jack. I'm proud of every millionaire, in almost millionaire. Shout out to J Ray. He's closing in on 700,000. He just made another 7,000 on Fannie Mae. J Ray loves Fannie Mae too, and he's hiking with his girlfriend, sending me hiking pictures, and he's at 700,000. So he's not a millionaire yet, but J Ray will be shortly. So this is the thing. So many people are like, oh, there's only a few students who are millionaires. We're doing the seemingly impossible, guys. We're taking a few $100s or a few $1,000s and trying to turn it into life-changing money. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen easily. But when you see more and more people doing it, it's like cracking the code, and then you can learn from them. That's the whole beauty of this business. This is why I'm so proud to teach, and I'm so proud of these guys. Like, Jack's a far better trader than I am. Many of my top students are. Why? Because I never had the foundation. I never had the guidance. And so I still have emotional issues, as you might see, like in some videos and some trades. I'm still over trading sometimes. The main thing that I've learned to do is size down to try to control myself. But again, I'm very far from perfect. These guys have unlimited potential because they have the proper foundation. If you don't have the proper foundation, no matter what you build later on, it's just going to crumble. I'll tell you that. And I wish I could go back in time. Maybe in the future, I'll create thousands of millionaires and get rich enough and then build a time machine, and then I'll be able to fix my own, lack of trading foundation education. But right now, I'm not rich enough. Do you think that's possible? How cool would that be?
I'd love to see
Right? There's also a conspiracy theory out there that I myself made, that I got so rich and, in the future, and I sent back like a little baby clone, and it was Jack Kellogg. I sent one American version, Jack Kellogg, and then one Chinese version. The Chinese version, ducks like turned evil, but then Jack is like the good American. So I don't know what's gonna happen with cloning in time travel, but I think that it's possible.
It could be.
Sure.
Strati hates my sci-fi analogies. I said this during the last inner circle. I was like, all you older students, you need to get richer, because in the next few years, modern medicine is going to evolve and you're going to be able to buy back your youth. And I was like, buy back your youth. Buy back your youth. And Strati was like, what? But I think that's true. I think that you will be able to buy back your youth. I think that your number one goal
Want to, though?
Hell yes!
I feel like I just want to die peacefully on a beach in Greece with a coffee or something, maybe.
I'll die never, and I'll play a hologram of like a beach in Greece, or a beach in Tahiti, or a beach in Thailand, or we'll merge all three.
Why
of them
are we
and
the
create
only
a-
ones that want to live forever?
You're going to be by yourself.
We were talking about living forever.
Who wants to live forever?
And nobody wants to live forever. Nobody.
Who wants to live forever? Say forever or death. You choose in the chat room. I'm curious.
I think it'll be 50-50.
Don't let us bias you. I want your honest opinion. Do you want to live forever? And there's no gray area. You can't say, I want to live 1,000 years. No, it's either forever or you die a natural death. And just to quantify this, a natural death, maybe in like 30 or 50 years, you probably live like 200 years, because modern medicine is still increasing. So whether you believe in forever or not, we're still probably going to live,
Gotta get my back brace.
150 or 200. Look at this guy. This guy's in his 20s and he needs a back brace. And he's going up the stairs like an 80-year-old man. Let's see. Death forever, death forever. No. No 500 years, no 200. It's death or forever.
I get so bored. What are you going to do?
Dude, there's going to be so many planets to discover. There's going to be so many things to do. Are you kidding me? I hope Elon's vision of the future plays out. Like, he has the starships. He's like New York to Singapore in like 30 minutes.
We'll see that before we're dead now. Technology is going crazy.
Many years from now, I am Highlander. There can be only one! Who's pumped for the new Highlander reboot? Henry Cavill is Highlander, baby. Let's go. You see that?
Someone said, send me on my way. I like that.
What does that mean? Send me on my way to forever?
Pasquale, are you
Peace.
forever or are you death?
Death or forever?
Dude, it's hard. You got kids, man. You want to live forever.
You can take them with you. Let me make this. If you live forever, theoretically, you have enough money. You're rich enough to buy this, magic.
Take fucking whoever wants to live forever.
But I also want my body to work.
It's split. It's dead
You know what
split.
I mean?
You can buy a new body. It's your consciousness. We're gonna upload it. We're gonna back it up.
Is it 50-50?
It's dead 50-50.
Baz says, "Give Kellogg my wheelchair." Do we have options to change your body? Yes! Yes! You can get a new body. You can change the way you look. You can be like a 20-year-old again. If you're like 70, you can buy back your youth. There's unlimited potential. When you're living forever, you can try everything. Imagine how many different trading strategies you can use when you have forever. Imagine how many millionaires I'm going to have if we live forever.
Imagine if Warren Buffett lived forever. I think he might make like trillion. He might be the first trillionaire.
Why do we have to reboot things? They were already awesome. Well, I mean, as you get older, things aren't going to be as awesome. Jack can barely walk up the stairs. Like, it's tough for 20-year-olds now these days.
I busted my back, guys. Pretty bad.
They're reversing skin cell aging. Yeah, I mean, look, this stuff, I know it sounds crazy, but there's going to be more and more technology coming out. And again, I don't know whether it's going to be forever or whatever, but you will definitely be able to enhance your health with money. I guarantee you that. And I guarantee you it's not going to be covered by insurance. I'm sorry, UNH shareholders.